Hey YouTubers, this is Corey from the P4 Network, and I just wanted to give my opinion on this story about Battlefield 5 and the pre-orders not being as high as EA expected, and basically how my opinion is different than a lot of the major ones out there. The two big opinions going around are basically that it's releasing too close to Red Dead Redemption 2, which is a fair argument. I think it's a very small part of the equation though, and the other one sort of equates to my bigger picture is that sort of the comments by EA and sort of their lack of respect for the fans of that series and how the fans of the series are very confused on what this product is. But my thing is that I actually don't want to support anything from EA right now. And that's because this entire generation they've released a lot of subpar products into the market and have not owned up to it. The one that comes to mind is Mass Effect Andromeda, which Mass Effect in the PS3 and 360 generation was heralded as one of the best franchises of the generation, and I agree with that. And that those games were synonymous with quality in the gameplay and writing perspective. And then you have Mass Effect Andromeda, which was released in such a bad state that people couldn't progress, and there were so many bugs out there, it was ridiculous. And they eventually started cutting single-player content that they were going to put in the game, and they never really sort of finished Mass Effect Andromeda. They got it to a working state, but even fixing all those bugs doesn't save the writing. And they claim Mass Effect is not dead, but it's very hard to believe that when franchises like Dead Space are gone, and you got franchises like Need for Speed that are so subpar now that they're a joke. And that's the reason why as a consumer and as a gamer, I just don't want to support anything EA does at the moment. And if you look at something else like Need for Speed and the whole loot box controversy with Star Wars Battlefront 2, I think that ties into just more consumer confidence in EA is at an all-time low. And not just among gamers, but among the casual crowd as well. The people that don't buy a lot of games every year. They saw the stuff with Battlefront 2, and that affected everybody in some way. Whereas in a game like Overwatch, you can still play the full game and never have to open a loot box, ever. You still get the full game. Whereas in Battlefront 2, the loot boxes were so tied into the progression that if you didn't use them, you couldn't progress, which was insane. Same thing happened with Need for Speed Payback, which used to be synonymous with quality when it came to racing games. The last couple games in that franchise have been very, very bad, especially with Payback having a similar issue to Star Wars Battlefront 2 in that you upgraded your engine and your car with these cards that you couldn't just get. You had to somewhat buy them and trade them, and there were slot machines and a lot of stupid stuff. And the fact that they still haven't quite figured this out yet, and the fact that EA is just now making changes to people like Patrick Sutherland now leaving, is concerning to me that it took them an entire generation to figure this out. But the moment that I sort of, I don't want to say turned my back, but stopped caring a little bit more about EA was with Battlefield 4, when it released at the launch of the generation on Xbox One and PS4. That was by far one of the most buggiest and just broken games I've ever played in the AAA space, and that I had it lock up on me, and I had to pull the plug on my console to get it to turn off. Like, that's insane. I shouldn't have to do that. But that was just among one of many issues with lag as well as the single-player save progress being wiped. And me and my friends, we just don't really seem to care about EA anymore because they haven't given us a product this entire generation that we'd like. And I think it's fair to say that the writing on the wall is that the quality of all of their products is diminishing. You could make the argument that Battlefield 1 was a great game, but from what I understand and what I read is that the player base of that game dropped off severely compared to the other Battlefield games, which again is just another correlation in that not only is Battlefield 5 having issues because of Red Dead Redemption and the PR that EA just can't seem to stop shooting themselves in the foot with, it's that consumer confidence is at an all-time low and that the products that they put out are not good anymore. And when you remove the franchises that made their portfolio diverse, like Dead Space, which is completely gone, you've got stuff like The Sims, which is around, but it's completely subpar now. Again, Need for Speed is still around, but it's subpar. Mass Effect is just, it's a shame what happened to that game. And EA just won't seem to figure out that they are the problem. It's their decisions and it's their responsibility to fix the problems. And instead of doing that, they seem to just keep moving on. They seem to just be chopping things off that aren't working. Like Visceral didn't have anything to do because their game wasn't coming together, so get rid of them. And that's a shame, because Visceral created Dead Space, which was probably my favorite franchise of the entire EA portfolio last generation. And until EA wakes up and figures this out, that they are the problem. It's not the consumer. It's nothing but their doing. Their products need to be better. It's that simple. Even if you didn't like everything from EA, if you didn't like Madden, if you didn't like FIFA, if you didn't like Battlefield, there was something for you. Whether it was The Sims, Dead Space, whatever it was, there was something for you. But now, there's nothing. There's Battlefield and sports. That's about it. Anthem is coming up. It looks okay. I think a lot of people are very excited about that game, and I understand why, because I think BioWare is a very, very good studio. But a lot of us still aren't sold on it yet. And while that is the one product that EA is pushing that I think I might want to get, the fact that this entire generation has been filled with subpar quality from them makes me very weary of it. And I don't trust them at all. So will I play Battlefield 5? Probably not. Unless something happens and my friend buys it for me because he wants to play with me, or the word of mouth is just so amazing that I have to check it out. I don't see any reason to support not only Battlefield 5, but EA as a company right now. Maybe next generation they'll figure stuff out, and maybe Anthem will finally be the game that sort of gets them to focus on things that they need to focus on and not loot boxes and how they can make more money. Just keep making good games and people will buy it. That's been proven time and time again that if you make a good game, you're going to sell enough copies. Don't make bad games like Mass Effect Andromeda and Mirror's Edge Catalyst and Need for Speed Payback. Don't release them if you know they're broken and if you know they're subpar. It's that simple. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And to all of our new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. We hope you'll continue to like our content, give us thumbs up, and let us know what you want to see in the comments below. And tune in next time.